Donc, on attend.
I love you. And make you love me. And be real love as well.
Oh yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
Korkutucu gerçekten.
Hello everyone and welcome. So please find your seat if you haven't already because we're just about to begin.
Bienvenue, la cérémonie va commencer d'ici quelques secondes, donc s'il vous plaît, veuillez trouver vos sièges. On a encore une vingtaine de secondes devant nous.
Et puis on va y aller.
Très bien.
Good.
Vous semblez bien sage, on va y aller alors.
Ouais, hein. Ça va, hein.
Bienvenue, welcome everyone to the LUX Audience Award ceremony here within the European Parliament in Brussels. My name is Stanislas Ide, I am a film journalist and I am from Belgium.
And I am Eli Mastoru, I am a film journalist also, and I am from Greece. Anyone from Greece in the room with us tonight? Kalispera. Yes, yes, us. So, we will
both serve as your masters of ceremony for the next hour. We will guide you through this very last step towards the revealing of the Lux Audience Award winner. We know that in the past few months, many of you have been sharing and voting for your favorite films out of the films that are nominated this year, which are 5. And we're excited to reveal the winner. I know I am. How about you, Ellie?
Definitely, Stan. I can't hardly wait. But before we begin, some technical details. So first, interpretation is available to you if you want to follow the ceremony in one of the official EU languages. Please look around and the number of the channel corresponding to the language you want is indicated right there.
You can also follow the ceremony online through the website of the European Parliament. That is multimedia.europal.europa.eu, but also through the social media channels like Facebook, Instagram, for instance.
So, we will very shortly be joined by representatives of each of the 5 films nominated tonight. Namely with us, we have director Carla Simón for the film Alcarràs. So, yes. So, I personally thought about my grandparents watching this film. I don't know if you did too, but
I did.
Yes, I did.
We also have with us director Emin Alper for Burning Days. Who in the audience felt really thirsty under the scorching heat of Burning Days? Was I the only one?
No. I can tell you, it was heavy. Okay. Yes, we see hands raised. So we also have with us director Lukas Dhont for his film Close. Yes, raise your hand if you shed a tear. Raise your hand if you cried during Close, because I know I needed tissues. Yes, I was not the only one, I can see that.
Also with us, the actress Sunyi Meles for Triangle of Sadness. I'm guessing many of you saw the film, and I want to know, after watching it, who is going to try a cruise ship after watching Triangle of Sadness?
Nope.
Nope? Okay.
No, not me. And last but not least, we have director João Pedro Rodrigues for his film Will o' the Wisp. So,
films need inspiring directors, and in a way, so does the European Parliament. In a few seconds, we will be joined by 3 inspiring leaders of the European Parliament. The President of the European Parliament herself, Mrs. Roberta Metsola.
The Vice President in charge of the Lux Audience Award, Mrs. Evelyn Regner.
And the Chair of the Committee on Culture and Education, Mrs. Sabine Verheyen.
So, we are really excited for their presence at the 16th edition of the Lux Award. Can you believe it's been 16 years already?
I know, 16 years. And back when it was created, it used to be called the Lux Prize. It had one very big ambition from the start, to use European films and their many diverse stories and values to bring European citizens closer together. Ali, do you remember which film won the first edition in 2007?
Yes, I do remember, Stan. It was The Edge of Heaven by German director Fatih Akin, a very moving film about immigration and chosen families.
And in those 16 years since the creation, the award has shed light on other remarkable films, such as The Broken Circle Breakdown by Felix van Groeningen, Tony Erdmann by Maren Ade, or last year's winner Quo Vadis Aida by Jasmila Zbanic.
That's impressive, and shedding light is sure the right expression, since lux means light in Latin. But concretely, what does it mean for a film to be nominated for the Lux Award?
Well, practically it means all the nominated films are subtitled by translators of the European Parliament in the 24 official languages of the European Union. In addition, the winner of the Lux Audience Award also gets adapted for visually and hearing impaired audiences, which is quite meaningful, as for film success, it makes it so much easier for the film to be accessible in all European countries. And on top of that, the European Parliament offices in the EU countries have organized for this edition over 500 free screenings for over 50,000 people.
Wow, okay, that's impressive. So the idea is that European stories need to travel in order to foster discussions on European identity.
That's the main idea. Films can help build and protect democracy. And on this very idea has been the center of the Lux Audience Award since its whole evolution.
Okay, so yeah, it has surely evolved a lot, because in the beginning only members of the European Parliament could vote. But today, in an effort to build bridges, the vote is split 50-50 between members of the European Parliament and European citizens.
Basically just like the Eurovision.
Yes, exactly.
And believe it or not, this year was the biggest participation from citizens so far. Can you guess how many votes were cast?
Yes, I can guess. It was over 45,000 ratings spread among the 5 nominees, so it's an absolute record. Please, yes. We can applaud that.
So basically, we can observe democracy in action.
Ooh, that's convenient. That's exactly the tagline of next year's European election, Stan. That's very clever. So, we're getting closer to the start of the ceremony, but before, we'd like to take a moment to thank all the partners without whom the Lux Audience Award would not be possible.
The European Film Academy.
Please stand up. You're here with us tonight. Thank you. The European Commission, please stand up.
Europa Cinema Network, please stand up. The Europa Cinema Network.
Yes. Thank you, as well as the selection panel of the European of the Lux representative and his honorary president, Mr. Mike Downey. Please stand up.
All right. Please, 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 please. I think we're getting there, just like the singer Lizzo would say, it's about that time.
I think you're right. So, everyone, I would like to please put your hands together to welcome the President of the European Parliament, Mrs. Roberta Metsola.
And at her side, the representatives of the nominated films for Alcarràs, director Carla Simón.
Yes. For Burning Days, director Emin Alper.
For the movie Close, director Lukas, Dhont.
And for Will o' the Wisp, director João Pedro Rodrigues.
And for Triangle of Sadness, actress Sophie Meles.
Yes. Yes, you can keep applauding them, because we're really happy that they're here. And the trophy, of course. Yes.
And now, Mrs. Metsola.
Mrs. Metsola, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Good evening, everyone. Blue lights are nice. Good evening. So, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, welcome to the LUX Audience Award Ceremony. We gather here this evening to celebrate the great talent and creativity of European filmmakers. It is an honor to have with us in this hemicycle the directors, actors and producers of the 5 films nominated for this year's LUX Audience Award. You embody the uniqueness of filmmaking in Europe, and your work is acclaimed internationally. Your films have reached hearts and moved souls across the world, across language barriers, with subtitles carefully added by European Parliament translators. Over 500 screenings across all member states, organised by the European Parliament, allowed almost 50,000 people to view your movies. They have sparked thought-provoking debates among members of this Parliament, the film industry professionals and cinema lovers alike. And your audience's response has been truly remarkable, with a record number of ratings. And this is evidence that people wholeheartedly embrace European cinema and common European values presented in these 5 nominated films. So when we use the slogan of the LUX Audience Awards, show your love for European film, we realise that this has taken on its true meaning. The LUX Audience Award is a joint project of the European Parliament and the European Film Academy, organised in partnership with the European Commission and Europa Cinemas. The award promotes European films by bringing them to audiences far and wide, without language boundaries. But it is also about the issues that filmmakers bring to the table, about democracy, equality, justice, respect, tolerance and freedom. The films shed light on pressing concerns of our time, and they inspire positive change. They cast light on world events that mirror universal societal issues, because through the power of storytelling, they unite us, bringing to the forefront shared fundamental principles of freedom of expression and dignity. They speak of the struggle of individuals faced with injustice, inequality or corruption. With daring honesty, these films showcase the stark realities of our daily world. And in so doing, you remind us that our work in standing for freedom and equality is far from complete. And here I would like to thank the European Parliament's Committee on Culture and Education, especially its committee chair, Sabine Verheyen, for her tireless work in defending and promoting European cultural diversity, artistic creation and filmmaking. I would also like to thank European Parliament Vice President Evelyn Regner, who is responsible for this award, and I cannot but not mention former member of this Parliament, Doris Pack, without whom, who is here, and without whom this award would not have been possible. Thank you for making this LUX Award audience happen. It is a reward for all of us. Through compelling narratives, the 5 LUX Audience Award nominees inspire us to take action in the face of adversity, to challenge the status quo, and to be proponents of change. You invite us to strive for a more humane and compassionate world, because together, through collective effort, we can work towards a future that is better for all of us. And in fact, that is also the message of the European Union project as a whole, united in diversity. Together we beat the odds, we weather the storms, and come out stronger. That is true for Europe today, warding off multiple crises. The LUX Audience Award is the only film prize in the world where the audience votes and picks the winners alongside members of a democratically elected parliament. Citizens award the prize. Democracy in action. You decide. This is just like no more than in 1 year's time. It is citizens who will decide on the composition of the next European Parliament at the European elections. You will choose. So, ladies and gentlemen, dear friends, let's celebrate European cinema and the message of hope that these films carry. Let's be inspired by them to participate in positive change. Thank you.
Thank you, President Metsola, for this inspiring speech. And now I would like to welcome Vice President of the European Parliament in charge of the LUX Audience Award, Mrs. Evelyn Regner.
So, good evening, and also from me a warm welcome to all of you joining us in the heart of European democracy, in the hemicycle of the European Parliament. This room is a symbolic place, yet also one of action. Many laws that make our lives better every single day are voted and discussed in this room. And this is why it is important to us all that the democratically elected winner of this European Film Prize is announced in our heart of democracy. Why I'm insisting so much on democracy during a glamorous film ceremony? Because democracy is the very foundation on which art and life can prosper. Yet, democracy is under threat by war, by misinformation, by social divides. Just 30 years ago, Yugoslavia imploded and collapsed in a bloody war. The LUX winning film of the last year, Quo Vadis Aida, showed us how much these consequences are still being paid today by everyone. Today, we, as European Union, represent the hope of stability, peace and well-being for many countries negotiating to be part of the Union, not least with Ukraine, also fighting for its independence at the very same time. What we experience in our Europe could look like an oddly built house, where diversities, languages, tradition, history and backgrounds are sometimes difficult to harmonize. But let us not forget, this is not only our house, it is our home, and our home is what we make of it. As European Parliament, in this building, with so many voices and languages, diversities and variety, we are building this shared home every single day. This very room echoes the voices of all Europeans, thanks to the European elections. And the next ones are less than a year ahead. In June 2024, there is much at stake. So my call to you is to take part in the debates, engage in the building of the Europe you want. Don't take for granted the peace and well-being we have. The 5 nominated films, Alcarràs, Burning Days, Close, Triangle of Sadness, and the-Wisp are showing you, each in their own way, how current circumstances are influencing our lives. Not only members of Parliament voted, but many of you did too. 45,000 of you, and this is the highest rating ever recorded. So this ceremony is therefore also for you. It's a celebration of participation and engagement in something fundamental and at the same time fragile, our cinema and our cultural heritage. We are here today with our special guests, storytellers, directors, filmmakers, actors and actresses too, who in these past months allowed us to share emotions, love for European films. All the films chosen for the award are a reminder for us as legislators of the tasks we have to embrace: rights and inclusion for all, the environmental crisis, corruption, and injustice, the histories and responsibilities of our continent's poverty and inequalities, and last but not least, the rights and freedom of expression. Thank you for shedding light on this with your wonderful films. I'm truly grateful to be in charge of this award as Vice President and to strengthen this bridge between politics and culture so that at the end of the day, all of us can come together to celebrate and to stand united in diversity. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice President Regner.
So, before we welcome Mrs. Sabine Verheyen, Chair of the Committee of Culture and Education, we would like to take a moment to salute some people, because we have with us tonight students and teachers from all EU countries representing the European Parliament Ambassador Schools. Where are you guys? Say hi. Yes, thank you. Thank you for being here.
And also with us, members of the 27 Times Cinema Network, an initiative that brings together young European cinephiles from every corner of the EU. Hi guys, 27 Times Cinema? No? Over there.
Where are you?
Hi, and thank you for all the efforts promoting the LUX Audience Award.
And now, I would like you to please welcome the Chair of the Committee on Culture and Education, Mrs. Sabine Verheyen.
Dear ladies and gentlemen, honourable guests, honourable Vice President Regner, today we not only celebrate the richness and diversity of European cinema, but also our common European values. Members of the Parliament, directors, actors and citizens who all contribute to the success of this unique experience, which is the LUX Audience Award. We are all here together in the name of the European cinema. We are very lucky to have the representatives of 5 European films here with us. The films we honour today have collected the most important prizes, awards and recognitions among the top festivals and competitions, not only in Europe, but all over the world. They succeeded to fill European cinemas after 2 long years of closure. Once more, the members of the selection panel for the LUX Audience Award succeeded to offer us a pool of films that are really diverse in the tones, the topics, narratives and storytelling. I thank them for their restless work of search, discover and choice, and I salute their courage. With the LUX Audience Award, we as members of the Parliament have explored European cinema. It has not always been an easy journey. As the prize itself that has grown and evolved very quickly and bravely, we have also learned to watch films we might have never seen otherwise. We discovered European audiences and went into a dialogue with them. Moreover, we have learned that the audience we met were sometimes more prepared and more open than us in embracing the proposed films. We should not underestimate the love our citizens have for European film. They are the biggest supporters of the LUX Audience Award. This clearly shows in the number of ratings that we have reached this year. 45,000 people voting and rating for the movies. A unique and amazing result. A result we can really be proud of. You can be proud of as audience. Another indicator is the numbers of people that are here with us today. For the very first time, the audience is part of the award ceremony, and so many joined us today. Of course, not everybody will love all 5 films. They are just as diverse as we are in the European Union. However, I would like to make it clear, our role is to strongly defend the freedom of expression and creativity of artists and storytellers, to ensure that our artists can keep on portraying the stories they feel relevant. We will defend our creative industries and our creative human capital not only by fostering European programs and national measures of support, but also being vigilant in always reacting against censorship and discrimination. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Verheyen.
Thank you. And now, the nominees. In Alcarràs, a Spanish and Italian co-production, Carla Simón invites us under the Catalonian sun to share the joys and sorrows of a family of peach farmers. It is a bittersweet portrait of generations inspired by the director's own memories. Please welcome director Carla Simón.
Hello, everyone. First of all, thank you so much. It's a huge honor to be here today and also to be part of this amazing selection of 5 films for the LUX Awards. Alcarràs is a film that portrays a place and a job, the agricultural job, which is actually my family's job. My family cultivates peaches in Alcarràs, which is a village, a very small village in Catalonia, in Spain. And I've always think that this way of cultivating in small families is probably the oldest job in the world. Like we've been doing this, or we started doing this in prehistorical times, cultivating the land in families. And I feel that right now this is something that is in danger because of the low prices set by big companies, because obviously the climate change that provokes weather disasters, and in this case this year some farmers cannot pick their fruit because of the lack of water. So we are in a moment, I think, that we should really protect the idea of working in a small. I think that this way of working in a small is really respectful with the land and also respectful with the rural areas that we obviously don't want them to get empty. And it's very funny that with my uncles, we always said that it's very similar, actually, the way they cultivate the land with the way that we actually make independent cinema. Somehow, like, we have to plant a seed. In our case, it's an idea. In their case, it's a real seed. No, we have to water it. We have to take care of it. We have to fight the threats sometimes, no, before it actually comes to light and we can actually pick a peach or see a film, no? And independent film, I feel sometimes it's also in danger. And I think that in places like that is where we should actually try to protect this way of doing cinema in small, and also the way of cultivating the land in small. Thank you so much.
Our second nominee is Burning Days, a film made in Turkey with the help of France, Germany, Netherlands, Greece and Croatia. It's the story of a judge who arrives in a small town in Turkey that is reeking with corruption. It's a fantastic thriller, but also on a poetic level, it really shows well how polarized a society can become. Please welcome director Emin Alper.
Hakim Hanım size bir şey danışacağım. Belediye başkanı sürekli yemeğe çağırıyor. Ben de sürekli bir bahane buluyorum.
Burası küçük bir yer Emre Bey. Böyle şeyler doğal karşılanır, merak etmeyin.
Good evening. Thank you for coming. It's a great honor to be here and to be part of this perfect selection. What drew me to write and shoot this film was the rising authoritarianism in my country. After almost each elections, like the election in the film, we have experienced trauma-like feelings because we saw that rising authoritarianism, corruption, destroying rule of law, violation of human rights, and finally a bad management of economy did not affect the popularity of those in power. Each time, manipulating the voters by showing the minorities, namely the Kurds and LGBTQ people, as a threat to the majority, strengthening the prejudices of people in a divided society, associating the opposition with terrorists or enemies of the nation, worked out, unfortunately. This was achieved by unproportional power of propaganda acquired by the monopoly on media. It's a trap which is really difficult to get out. However, we have to find a way to stop this irrational wave of authoritarianism. We should be strong, we should be clever, diligent, be in solidarity, and be courageous to remove this threat to our freedoms. Otherwise, the future for us, not only in Turkey, but in Europe, will be bleak. And our fundamental rights, freedoms, and the civilization itself will be in danger. We should do something immediately. Thank you.
In his second feature, Close, a Belgian co-production with France and the Netherlands, Lukas Dhont tells the story of two boys linked by an intimate friendship that will brutally be disrupted. It is a moving, powerful and colorful story about boyhood, and it is told with an infinite amount of tenderness. Please welcome director Lukas Dhont.
Je vais dormir chez Rémi ce soir. Tu vas venir chez nous un jour? Peut-être.
Mais c'est super gentil ça, on va d'un peu grand frère maintenant. C'est bon. Viens travailler un jour.
Hi everyone. We feel incredibly lucky to be here among 5 films that each in their own way talk about us humans, our paradoxes and our consistencies, our longing for intimacy, for magic, for a place that feels like we can invent ourselves, a place where we can contain multitudes. Thank you to all the Europeans who went out to see these films. The attempt to connect to every individual audience member is our true desire, our motor in life. This ceremony comes at a strange moment in time for us, as very recently 2 screenings of Close in Bulgaria were unable to continue due to protests. In Sofia, people with hurtful anti-LGBTIQ+ slurs entered the cinema hall and started to take pictures of filmgoers. For security reasons, the screening needed to be cancelled. In Varna, the same thing happened a couple of days later. You have been thinking about the Bulgarian audience who tried to see the film but couldn't. Who they are, what they look like, what it feels like to be in a European country where watching a film about male tenderness suddenly feels unsafe. We've been thinking about our audience in Hungary too. In June 2021, the Hungarian Parliament created a law that censors the LGBTIQ+ communities in the country. This anti-LGBT propaganda law bans the depiction of queer people and topics in the media almost everywhere where kids could be. On radio and TV, you can't hear or see anything that addresses queer topics before 10 p.m. The full team behind close wants to express their support to the European Commission, who has decided to bring Hungary in front of the European Court of Justice, as their law goes against the most fundamental European norms and values. We would like to ask the Commission to consider taking similar actions against Italy and its Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni's anti-LGBTIQ+ stance. Human rights are universal, inalienable, indivisible, interdependent, and interrelated. To all our audiences, to all the kids who deserve to see stories that represent them, we stand by you as you, like every single human being, have the right to be and discover who you are and who you want to be, whoever, wherever. We think of you and we are hopeful and proud. Thank you.
The fourth nominee tonight is Triangle of Sadness, which was made in Sweden, Germany, France, and the UK. It's a wild comedy by director Ruben Östlund. It's taking place on a cruise ship with influencers and extravagantly rich people, and where a crazy accident is going to reshuffle the whole social class system. Please welcome Sonia Meles.
Actress in Triangle of Sadness.
People are regretting it, throwing away their lives on stupid and pointless jobs.
Can I get you anything to drink?
No, I don't know. I was just born into this life. It was not my fault. And when this happened, I just felt like, why? That is so unfair. Yeah. We are all equal.
That is so true.
Everyone's equal.
Madame la Présidente, dear members of the European Parliament, Mesdames et Messieurs, dear audience, good evening. What an honor is it for me as an artist to express my thoughts to you here in the European Parliament, in this house of democracy and the freedom of thought. The 5 nominated films reflect diversity of life choices that are under the legal protection against discrimination decided by the European Parliament. Our nominated film, Triangle of Sadness, en français Sans filtre, tells a story about the interaction between different social classes. The roles we actors play in Triangle of Sadness deal with abuse, power, and money, but our movie doesn't judge those who are rich or poor, good or evil, just or unjust. In our humorous and contradictory but poetic way, the film allows us to realize that we, as humans, are basically alike at our core. We are led to feel hope in spite of all our faults to make us better people. Yes, and sometimes it's enough if we just go to the movie. Il faut aller au cinéma.
We should go to the cinema.
You know what? I wouldn't be standing here in front of you in the European Parliament representing our film Triangle of Sadness if not the wonderful, brilliant and unique writer and director Ruben Östlund always told us his best time is working intensively with us actors. He encouraged you to be brave and to fail in order to be truthful. Unexpected moments arise and you grow beyond yourself. For that I thank you, Ruben, from the bottom of my heart. Not to forget the producer, Eric Hemmendorf, et aussi le producteur Philippe Boubet, as well as my esteemed acting colleagues and the whole team of Triangle of Sadness. And I want to thank also this wonderful team who did this wonderful evening, because it's for me and for all the nominated films the important prize of democracy. We have to support with this prize all films who are not allowed to do what we think. Vive le cinéma.
Will o' the Wisp is a Portuguese film co-produced with France, and it is a playful and bold fantasy where a king remembers his youth, where firefighters dance, and love and desire transcend the screen. It is a modern, audacious, and exhilarating tale, and we would like to please welcome director João Pedro Rodrigues.
Bandido, como empregaste?
Devemos bem tratar um amigo de verdade, tão fiel como a amizade que podemos cultivar.
Com licença.
Ladies and gentlemen, honourable members of the European Parliament, good evening. I'm here with my partner, João Pedro Rodrigues, he's sitting there, screenwriter and art director and production designer of my film Folk Fat Will o' the Wisp. Jean-Louis and I arrived yesterday in Brussels from Kyiv in Ukraine, where we were invited for the first ever queer film festival in Ukraine, which goes by the lovely name of Sunny Bunny. Sunny Bunny was held symbolically for the first time during the Russian invasion of Ukraine. It doesn't mean the Ukrainian situation in terms of LGBTQI rights plus is good. The festival got a number of threats on social media. On the opening day, a sticker stating that homophobia is normal appeared on a pole close to the cinema, and 3 people were arrested. Last Friday, 5 minutes before the end of the screening of Will o' the Wisp, the air raid alarm sounded. We thought the film would be interrupted, but nobody left the cinema. The film ended. There were laughs and applause. People left the cinema, they had to go to a bomb shelter. Unfortunately, there was no Q&A. Sometime after, the all-clear siren arrived and we could relax. It was time to go home to follow the midnight curfew. That same night, at 2:20, the air raid alarm sounded again. This time, the debris of a Russian missile intercepted by the Ukrainian army hit an apartment building. 3 people were killed, several were injured. In our hotel, we heard the explosions. In Ukraine, the film would not have been shown if it wasn't for Sunny Bunny Film Festival. but because of the Lux Audience Award nomination, my film Willow the Wisp was subtitled in every language of the EU and shown in every state member. Democracy and civil rights are fragile. We should fight for them every day. Thank you.
And thanks to you, thanks to all of you for these very important and inspiring words.
Thank you.
But so how about we get this trophy handed, Ellie? Did you know that its beautiful shape actually has meaning? It represents a positive version of the Babel Tower. Even though EU citizens don't speak the same language, they share common values. And the idea of the trophy is to symbolize multilingualism and cultural diversity in Europe. But also, like European films, to be a mirror of European values and social topics. That's why the film roll is with mirror silver.
Ooh, okay, it's very clear now. Thank you so much. So I have information too. Did you know that it was made by two people? It was made by designer Chris de Becker and by artist and creator Jocelyne Costa. And Jocelyne Costa is here with us tonight. Thank you. Congratulations.
And now, before we move to the announcement of the winner, let's watch one more video, a 1-minute video about past editions of the Lux Audience Award.
Perché al Lux la cultura, il cinema siano elementi fondamentali.
Lux Prize is awarded to
Thank you from all my heart. Thank you very much. Merci.
L'étonnance que vous permettez d'avoir à travers ce prix. I'm very happy to be a European filmmaker because I can be German and part of something bigger at the same time.
Importante e centrale per riuscire a diffondere un cinema indipendente.
I truly hope that you will remember your nomination for the Lux Audience Award as something unique in a prolonged cinematic career going forward.
All right, are you ready? I think the moment we've all been waiting for is finally arrived. So I would like to invite very soon Vice President Regner to join us to announce the winner. Yes.
Can you feel the tension rising?
Yes, I'm feeling, I can barely breathe. Good, I think we are sisters tonight. Perfect. Great.
Drum rolls, please.
Can we bring the drum rolls and the envelope?
At the mic.
Well, I know it already, and you in a second. So there is the magic moment, and the winner is Close.
And we're now being joined by Chair Verheyen of the Culture on Committee and of the Committee on Culture and Education.
A picture with everyone. Come to the center. Picture. Good time. And now, thank you. Since the Lux Audience Award is a collaboration between MEPs and citizens, Chair Verheyen will now be joined by 4 EU citizens to honor the 4 other films.
As well as the representatives of the films. Please join us back.
Please come join. Come on this side, come on this side. Oh no, see, here. The film representative. João,
Okay.
Sunny, come here, on this side. We're gonna. You are going to be. You can stay in the middle. We stay in the middle with everyone. So we take the perfect, amazing. So for Burning Days, we have an award that needs to.
Yes.
For Burning Days. Perfect. Yes, you can do them. Picture. In the middle.
And now for Alcarràs.
Yes, perfect. For Triangle of Sadness.
And for Will o' the Wisp. And now, one final big family picture before we get to the speech of our winner. Please, one family picture.
All together. Can you see them? Aren't they beautiful?
It looks like the photographers are ready. Okay, they are. Thank you very much.
Thank you all so much. And now,
And now, the speech from our winner. Close, Lukas Dhont.
Close by Lukas.
Thank you. Angelo, you can stand here next to me. Oh, okay. Wow. I just speeched. Do you have anything?
No.
Okay.
I'm just a writer. I can't improvise. Thank you. Thank you. What was it? 45,000 people who voted. Even if you didn't vote for us, thank you. We're in the center of democracy, so we have to respect that. Thank you for supporting European cinema. There are 5 films here, and it has been said they're all incredible, but there are hundreds and thousands of filmmakers all across Europe who aren't here tonight. Support their films as well. Go to your local cinema. Support their work. Ask your representatives to support their work. Because it's important as well. So thank you. Thank you, Lukas, as well.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Well done.
No, yeah, no, thank you. Indeed, like Angelo said, I agree with what he said. I want to thank everyone here, and I want to thank all the European audience who went to see these films during one of the 500 screenings and who voted. It feels incredible, and I'm sure I talk for the others to feel that support from our European audience. So thank you.
Photo again.
One last picture.
One last little picture. Yes.
But
thank you to Lukas Dhont and Angelo Tysons, his co-scriptwriter.
And before we move to our closing musical piece, 2 very important messages. First one being the new edition of the LUX Audience Award will be launched at the Venice Film Festival in September, where 5 new amazing nominees will be announced.
So, follow the LUX Award on socials, stay tuned to watch, rate and participate, because the next edition will end in March 2024, right before the European elections in June.
And before we finish, we'd like to thank the interpreters, all of them, for making sure that this ceremony was available to all EU citizens.
Thank you. So, we're going to close just like we started, with music. Please remain in your seats as we welcome Héloïse de Genlis playing harp, Mathilde de Genlis playing violin, and Camille Segers playing cello. And maybe some of you will recognize the piece they're about to play, because it's the love theme from the Italian classic Cinema Paradiso by Ennio Morricone. Thank you all,
and
good night!